Coach, your first Big Ten win of the season in dramatic fashion on the road. How good does it feel to get this one checked off?
You know what? During the week, I liked our matchup.
Coach Franklin, let's just start talking about this defense. The statistics jump off the page, and they shut out Iowa tonight. What impresses you most about this unit? I can tell you're still trying to soak all of this in. This first 24 hours can be really overwhelming for a first-round draft pick. Can you give everybody a glimpse into what your life has been the past few hours? When it comes to catching the ball in the end zone, it seems to be your best friend, but you had your first career rushing touchdown today. How cool was it to impact the game in a different way?
Yeah, that was cool.
Curtis Jacobs, did you know that you're the first Penn State player since 1991 to have 2 fumble recoveries in a game? A career high 4 passing touchdowns for you today. How do you continue to exceed expectations?
I just stay in the moment.
How good did it feel to be a part of a unit that combined for over 100 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns today? One of those good things, Kyle McCord had a career high in passing yards today. How pleased were you with how he commanded this offense?
Yeah, watch the film and see what it looked like.
Caden, you had the opportunity to step up and be RB1 today, and you made the most of it, a career high in carries. What was working for you in the backfield?
Really just the men up front.
You saw Kyle Johnson with that run. His coach said he's having a phenomenal season, but also has a great front leading the way for him, so he credited that line. But he said he truly understands now that not every run has to be a touchdown. He's more willing to take the short runs, understanding that eventually the home run hitters will come. But the offense as well, I know they're a young unit, but have you seen progression from them at all today? You said it was sloppy in some areas. What improvements can this defense make then? It's only week 1. That fumble recovery could have been a scoop and score, but were you at ease knowing that this guy found the end zone shortly after? Who's the first person that you want to tell about that moment if they didn't get to see it today?
Definitely my granddad.
You said you were at quarterback. How do you enjoy being on the receiving side of things this year?
It's fun.
Adisa, back-to-back games with 6+ sacks for your defense. The first time that's happened since 2007. I know you said wow when that happened. So what was fueling your defense the past couple weekends? It felt like a whiteout, though it was the helmet stripe game. But how do you summarize your first start as QB1? Despite everything going on off the field, there's still a game that needs to be played tonight, and that's where both of these teams are turning their attention. It's the 116th state championship game between the Michigan Wolverines and Michigan State Spartans. And the last time Michigan lost a Big Ten game was in 2021, right here in East Lansing, to their rival. And Michigan State interim head coach Harlan Barnett said this week is about finishing. New quarterback Caden Hauser threw for 2 touchdowns while rushing for another last weekend in his first career start, but the Spartans were still outscored 21-0 in the fourth quarter. Coach Barnett called that loss a gut punch and said that they need to be in attack mode here tonight. The sun is shining today in Columbus as number 1 Ohio State returns home to face Michigan State. Buckeyes head coach Ryan Day feels his top-ranked team is headed in the right direction, but the urgency to finish drives and put points on the board is at an all-time high. Last weekend, Ohio State trailed at halftime for the first time all season and outscored Rutgers 28-7 to rally back in the second half. Star wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. was held to just 25 receiving yards, but still made an impact with 2 touchdowns. Maryland's offense is averaging 35 points per game this season, but 65% of that total offensive yardage is coming from Talia Tungavailoa and the pass. Head coach Mike Loxley knows that in order to be successful in this conference, you've got to get things rolling on the ground. Not even the wind and the rain could deter this whiteout crowd. They've been lined up ready to tailgate since 6 o'clock this morning, so expect this sea of white filling in behind me to be in full force. And this Iowa Hawkeyes football team hasn't really experienced this Beaver Stadium crowd, so they'll rely on 2 players on their roster who have. Quarterback Cade McNamara and tight end Eric All played for Michigan back in 2021 and connected for a game-winning touchdown that silenced this Penn State crowd. Ironically, that connection might be something Iowa looks towards tonight, as one of McNamara's favorite targets, tight end Luke Lachey, will be out after having lower leg surgery. Iowa will also be missing 2 of their best running backs in Caleb Johnson and Jazzian Patterson. But no matter who's on the field tonight, Penn State head coach James Franklin said, expect this to be a Big Ten grind-it-out type of football game. But if you were watching film, you'd think they went back and watched that Penn State-West Virginia game, right, where Drew Aller threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. And 2 of the best running backs in college football right now that Penn State has, neither of them hit the 100-yard rushing mark. West Virginia was good at stopping the run. Now, they knew they needed to do that against Penn State, but if I'm Pitt, I'm not trying to establish Rodney Hammond Jr. for the first 5 plays of the game. I'm trying to air the ball out a little bit and test the secondary of the Mountaineers.
I think they can contain Lamar Jackson. The Ravens really only had one 20-point first half, and that was against the Browns. Other than that, they have not been lighting up the scoreboard, and we know what the Steelers' offensive situation has been like, only about 15 points per game this season, and maybe only one game will skew that a little bit because I think we could say that average should be a little less. So look at the first half under in this one. Both of these teams are going to look to get something going, but I think the Steelers' defense does enough to contain Lamar Jackson.
You don't have to make the big play every play. You just have to do the little things right. And Kenny Pickett will learn that. I think he tried to be the hero at the end of that game where all he had to do was get across the first down marker, get out of bounds, reset your team, and have another play. You don't have to be the hero.
What I like about this game is 2 prop bets in this one. I'm going to look at Deebo Samuel over 4.5 receptions. I like this because Brandon Ayuk has been a bit beat up, so I think they're going to look more at Deebo Samuel and George Kittle in this one. Samuel gets a lot of targets, 7 in the game against the Steelers, 9 against the Rams, so I think he goes over this total.
I do think, though, if you get a guy like Dylan Cruz, you get a quicker return on investment because he is more MLB ready with the position that he plays and the way that he hits the ball. If you invest in a guy like Paul Skeens, you have a little bit longer wait on that return on investment to come up because you do want to see if he does want to hit. And Shohei Ohtani has shown, like you said, people in the major leagues that it is possible. They're going to want to see him develop a little bit more in the minors. And as a pitcher, you want to see that control.
I like that you said it's going to be a shootout. I have Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns as my best bet in this one. He had 4 passing touchdowns in that 48-point performance last week. And when the Bills get inside the 20, statistics are showing that they are throwing the ball 7 passing touchdowns inside of the 20 for them this season. So I think Josh Allen's going to be airing the ball out. And if they're getting close to the end zone, he's going to start getting itchy. Take Josh Allen over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Season that everyone thought they would. We all thought of them as a 500 team in the beginning of the season. And callers out there, we didn't forget you when you thought a lot of us were crazy in the win totals that we were predicting for this team this year. So looking forward next year is probably where you're going to have a Pirates team you can be super serious about. And I think getting Endy Rodriguez up here just to get him reps before you take that next step is really crucial. You take the deal or walk away because of something better. Starting with Presley Harvin. He's been a guy who, as a draft pick, we expected to be performing at a more elite level. Currently, he ranks 19th with a punting grade in the 60s, specifically around 65, and only 18 of his 58 attempts landing inside of the 20-yard line.
One tight end might be out, but another one's going to shine. Sam Laporta, alternate receiving yards, 25 plus. I like this one. I think Sam Laporta from Iowa is going to be the next TJ Hawkinson, the next George Kittle, what everybody's putting him out to be.
And as long as the Steelers, though, can stop Mark Andrews from moving the chains, 5 of the times he was targeted from Tyler Huntley on first down against the Steelers last year, they went over 5 yards on those plays. So I'm going to say if the Steelers can control Mark Andrews, they can win. It'll be close scoring, 17-14. First of all, the loss I'm going to take this year is to Ohio State. And the reason is they're on the road at Ohio State, so they can maybe have a little bit of leniency there. But also, I don't want to lose to Michigan. That's a home game against Michigan, and Michigan's the returning top dog to beat, and Michigan returns a lot. They will be the team to beat in the Big Ten this year. That, to me, is a better win than Ohio State being a loss. Because
I've even seen this at 51. Get it at under 51 if you can. Like I said, Kirk Cousins is going to have to throw this ball in this matchup. And last year against the Eagles, Kirk Cousins was his team's leading rusher. So that's how I feel about the touches that Alexander Mattison might see.
Hey, Pirates fans, it's Hannah Mears here outside of PNC Park. And exciting news broke yesterday as Pirates outfielder Brian Reynolds inked a long-term deal with the club. And it was official today. Brian Reynolds came into the press conference room all smiles as he walked in to share his thoughts in front of his family and friends on signing the largest deal in franchise history.
I'm just really excited about what we're building. What the team can be and what we're already doing, and just what the future could hold here.
A huge part of the deal was Pirates chairman Bob Nutting, who believes that Brian Reynolds is an essential part of this franchise's success moving forward.
Well, I think we're well positioned. I think we're moving into the next chapter as an organization, and as I've said, we are building. We have an opportunity to grow, to build, bring some real leaders in, and package them with what will always be important of, young players moving up through the system, infusing talent at every level. We're not going to lose sight of what got us here. We're going to continue to build, follow the plan, and this is an important piece.
And of course, Reynolds' teammates were ecstatic about having him in the dugout for years to come.
He's awesome. He really is a leader in the locker room. He's just great to have around.
It's a big day for the Pirates and for our entire team. And they kept talking about what we're building, what we're doing. And Brian, as the person, the player, just total package. Just thrilled for him and thrilled for us.
The deal begins this year and lasts until 2030 with a 9th-year option that the club can pick up in 2031. To get a close-up look of Brian Reynolds and your first-place NL Central Division Pirates, come down to PNC Park as they continue their homestand against the LA Dodgers. We'll see you soon, Pirates fans. Until then, I'm Hannah Mears. Let's go Bucks. Today we have a special celebration as the Pittsburgh Pirates announce the 2023 inductees into the Pittsburgh Pirates Hall of Fame. Elroy Face, Bob Friend, Dick Grote, and Kent Sokolvy will comprise those inductees, and all were former World Series champions and All-Stars. And all 4 of those Pittsburgh Pirates legends will join the inaugural class of 19 members who were inducted last year in 2022.
He would have been so touched and honored, and he loved Pittsburgh, growing up here in Swissvale and playing in front of Pittsburgh fans for winning the World Series. It was one of his best moments of all time.
He was very involved in the community, through politics, through business, and the alumni. He was very involved. He loved Pittsburgh. He came here in 1951 and he never wanted to leave. It's just a great city. Great people, really and truly. The people here they're the best. They really are.
Well, every once in a while, somebody come up to me and say, you were the best relief pitcher in baseball and stuff like that, so I still get that. Most of the thing, I just say thank you to all the fans that supported me over the years. It's just an honor to be inducted into the Pittsburgh Hall of Fame.
It's, I've been sitting here for all these years listening to how much how much everybody appreciates what I've done for the Pittsburgh, for the Pirates, for all this other stuff. That is way outnumbered by what Pittsburgh and the Pirates have done for me. So, if I wanted to make a statement, I said I've received a lot more than I've given.
The club launched the Pittsburgh Pirates Hall of Fame in 2022 to celebrate former players and managers who made a significant impact on the Pittsburgh Pirates organization, the game of baseball, and the city of Pittsburgh itself. Congratulations to our 4 newest inductees who will be remembered forever amongst the rest of these legends. Until next time, Pirates fans, I'm Hannah Mears, and feed 'em Bucks.